I'm on early. I apologize, but buenos dia, buenos dia. Right now, I'm taking some notes. I'm watching a video, but I logged on accident, so I'm just gonna stay live. So please excuse me while I do my thing. I got like 3 minutes till 7 o'clock, so I'm gonna take advantage of that. But buenos dias. Wake up, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're talking about loving your soul, not your role. Reconditioning the mind, the heart, the stomach, the physical, the spirit, and the soul, all at once. This channel is for empaths, non-religious. Also, for anyone who's interested in what I'm doing. So like, share, subscribe. Again, I got like 3 minutes, so I'm gonna be doing my thing. Make any comments if you like, whatever. And we read the Bible. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm looking at who is DOEG in this Bible book, Samuel 1. Hey, hello, buenos dia. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you. I don't know how to say your name, but hello, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Again, I got like 3 minutes, so bear with me. So while we wait, this is not a commercial. I'm not endorsed by these people, but if you've never had this type of honey, try it. Look, I just bought this whole bottle. It was like $15. Amazing with black coffee. But yesterday I used it on I think I ate a plum and I poured it on a plum. Incredible. So if you haven't tried this type of honey, try it. Golden blossom honey. Really, really good. So anyway, totally forgot what I was gonna do just now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get it started. Wake up, wake up. You already know Omni Cosmic in the house, where we listen twice and speak once. And we do read the Bible. We're reading the Old Testament right now. We're on chapter 23, which is David saves Keilah, Keilah. That's how it's spelled. So I know what I was gonna go get. Hold on. So, hold on. Let me turn this off. So this is not a religious channel. I just wanted to tell you that this is not a religious channel. We are spiritual. We read the Bible because it's dominating the world, just like the Quran. Religion is important to learn about because it's why what's going on is going on. The more you know, the more you be able to, the more you become aware. Not only what's going on, but also the main what's going on is your soul, your thought process, your conditioned old self, your transcended new self, how that's going, self-talk, self-discipline, self-love, all those good things that give you a better life, especially at my age. I'm an older person, and this information is, like I said, for empaths. If you have children, show them the Bible, read it with them, and find your own understanding. Do not follow anyone else. Follow Jesus Christ's way of being. Love will conquer all, right? You cannot go up against somebody with violence and war if God is truly the guide of your life. Cannot. It doesn't make any sense. God works with love, not with war. That's man-made. So these are the reasons why you read the Bible, to figure this stuff out, right? Because it'll give you a better sense of your spiritual foundation. You won't be easily deceived. And remember, the deceiver is great. So how do you know, say, you're working, then I just want to put this out there, but just say you're working on your spiritual self and you begin to, to talk, right? To have those spiritual conversations and, you get an answer back. How do you know? A lot of people have that question. How do you know if you're talking to God? The moment you open your mouth, the moment you process something, that's conversations with God. Now, you're going to be able to tell the difference because God is not a deceiver, right? He will not lie to you. He will not set you up. You will see things and go through things in your, transcendence, or even in your regular life, right? That people say, why am I going through this? Oh God, why am I going through this? Right? When when you have those bad days. But God got nothing to do with that. That's all physical stuff, right? In the Bible it says, from dust you came, from dust you shall return. So all that's those physical ailments that you're asking God to help you heal, not gonna happen. What you need to do is put in the work and connect your mind, your heart, and your stomach. So that means what you see, what you hear, what you talk, what you feel, what you eat, what you consume. That's what that means. That's how that manifests physically. Um, you know, there's only one God, right? The moment you know and you believe that and you understand it to be true in terms of your studying, not just people telling you, and in your work, your meditation, your prayer, if that's what you want to call it, your work will give you that reality. Not following someone else, paying them to lie to you because you're afraid and you don't know how to talk to God. Talk to yourself. It's the same thing. You are an image of God, right? So when you're talking and he's listening, it's you. But that's a little deeper than just going over, the, I was gonna say rules, but the ceremonies, what you're supposed to be doing in terms of serving someone else. God does not want you to serve him. That's not his point. Or her, right? God is a different concept. The reason I'm using that term is so that you can understand, and what you learn to identify as a God is the one that I'm trying to get you to understand what it really is and how you can utilize it to transcend and not come back. That's the whole thing, is to not come back here. And if you say you can't control that, then you don't need to be on this channel. You need to be somewhere else. Because here's a perfect example. I had cancer, I had diabetes, I had all that stuff. I started putting in work. And, God has always been part of my life. And again, I use that term very loosely because I know what that entails. But I'm saying it so I can relate to you in terms of that concept of God. The attainment of knowledge and wisdom is peace and love, and we'll get you there. You have to feed yourself those things that you yearn, the things that you desire. Like, people want to be happy. I want to be happy. So you get married, you buy a car, you buy a house, you want to be happy. So you get these things to fulfill that emptiness that you feel, which is where God belongs. So you're feeling, or you're trying to, and you're always going to be empty. I know. But I don't feel empty anymore. I am not empty anymore. My cup is full. Imagine the day that you can say that. The day that you can say, my cup is full. What? And life is lifing, right? Things are falling apart. You know, life is lifing, but you are fulfilled. Wow. So Doeg is the gentleman in the Bible. If you look at the description of this video, there's a link. I don't know if you have to copy and paste it to your URL search bar, but check it out. It's I'll show you real quick. I'm watching it right now, actually. So, can you see that? Basically, it's just a brief story of Doeg, who's the guy that was hired by Saul to kill David, I believe. He killed 85 of God's priests, and he burned a whole city. He was an ambitious person in terms of being part of this religion, getting into a position of power. So watch the video; it's very interesting. And this type of information can break down to you. If this video is AI generated, so there might be some stuff that you may need to refer back to your Bible or go online and do cross-reference. Please do not take my words as the standard. Do your research, do your cross-referencing. I'm doing this out of love for my soul and out of love for your soul. So not everything comes out right, not everything is etched in stone. So do not follow anyone. When you begin to become aware of your thoughts, of your actions, of your emotional status in that moment, you become more aware of the symbols and the callings, like people call it spiritual. Like, when you see things that tell you, hey, don't do this, hey, do that, hey, go here, hey, talk to this, hey, somebody might say something to you, or a situation may arise where you absolutely rely on your intuition. So the first with instinct maybe, or intuition is your first response, because you're aligned. There's going to be no confusion. There's going to be no dissonance in your mind. You're going to be one. You're going to be one universe. You're going to be universal in your thoughts and in your responses to those thoughts. And you'll be able to discern. This is how you know who God is. This is how you know that when you're getting an answer of a question. And remember, God is not material. And then you hear that answer in your voice and somebody else's voice. If it's in somebody else's voice, watch out now, or the frequency and what it's saying to you, or what message you're receiving, how you interpret it, how it makes you feel. Is it right? Right? Like, in your mind, is doing this. And when I say right, I mean, are you harming anyone? Does it have any future implications of harming anyone, even yourself? Deceiving? Anything that goes against how you would like to be treated, or the importance that you place on human relations and interactions with the world. So it has nothing to do with indoctrination. This is what you should do. People do the most craziest things every day, every second. In this video that's I'm playing in the background that you can't hear, there's a part when he says, the narrator, which is AI generated, the video is too, but again, just cross reference. So he says this: when humans are given over to sin, they are capable of unimaginable cruelty. Now, sin is a concept, right? Sin is like everything in a system is used to control the way you see or perceive and interact while you're here. It's a control mechanism. Once you're able to be aware of that, doesn't mean you have to change it, right? You don't have to change it because it's not going to change. They're going to change it whenever they feel like it. It's going to change it whenever it feels like it. But you just need to be aware of it. That's it. Let it go. Keep it moving. Stay in spirit and soul and mind, right? Stay there. Stay within your wheelhouse of people like to say righteousness, but of self-awareness, and you'll be fine. Love you so natural. Wake up, hit that notification bell, like, share, subscribe. Okay, here we go. It's 7:12. I came on here early, so I got some time to speak about stuff. So let's just go ahead and do what we do. Here it is. So basically what I do is I read these to you for today. Thankful Thursday. Wake up. And then we read the Bible. Cool. All right, here we go. So today, this is the morning affirmation. All right, so starting your day with intention is a powerful way to shift your perspective and invite more goodness into your day. So start your day with intention. Intention is not what you're going to do, what you plan to do, what you wrote down to do. That's not the intention. That's not what that means. What that means is basically just hand it over to God, right? So what is your intention? My intention today is to be thankful. Because today's Thankful Thursday. Wake up. What are you thankful for? For waking up. For being able to process an intention for today. That's a good thing to be thankful for. So, your intention. What is your intention just for today? That's a big day, right? But it's a day with promise because there's an intention to manifest that day in the way that you would like that to happen. In the morning, wake up. Father God, Mother Goddess, this is what I need. This is for you. Take the day and I will be what you want me to be for whomever. But always maintaining the foundation of communication with the all spirit, right? The all life. So with words, right? The reason that I know that there are a lot of people that say people like me, right? That, want information outside of what's been given. So I have to do that on my own. I have to build my mental prowess to be able to intake and manipulate this information for the benefit of my transcendence, not for the benefit of the world. That comes naturally. Jesus Christ didn't come here to save the world, and he ain't gonna come back to save the world either. So get off of that. You save yourself. Read the Bible. Read the Gnostic texts. Read the Quran. Read all that stuff that they're trying to impose upon you to control you, and then you will understand what that's all about and move on. You will no longer be confused. You will no longer be depressed. You will no longer be happy. You will no longer be upset. These emotions that are used as control will now be at your mercy. Yeah. So think about the control that you have aside from everything else, right? And the control that you have can easily be changed, can easily be taken, can easily be manipulated. So it's not always etched in stone. However, you can always come back to it because it's your foundation. Wake up. Okay, here we go. Okay, today I choose to see the abundance that surrounds me. I am grateful for the breath in my lungs. It is that simple. The opportunities ahead and the strength within me. I release the pressure to be perfect and embrace the joy of being present. My heart is open, my mind is clear, and I am ready to receive the blessings this day has to offer. There you go, morning affirmation. Had some music in the background. Well, that's for Friday. So quick shifts in the day. This is a little bit of insight of some of the things that you can utilize on a daily basis in terms of affirmations. So this is for energy. I am fueled by gratitude and ready for my productive day. Wow, profound. Because you're manifesting by saying this. So the frequency is only going to take you to this point because you manifested it, right? You're saying it. And words are magic. Words are magic. For peace. So this is for peace. I trade my worries for wonder and my stress for stillness. So instead of worrying about a bill, a due bill, an overdue bill, you wonder, if I call and say, hey, maybe this can happen. If they say no, that's fine. But the transcendence, the change is the frame of thought when you're dealing with that. Like me, woo, I hate paying bills. I used to hate paying bills. Like I would get extremely frustrated to the point where almost I can become, I would say, I don't know if angry is the right term, but I hate pay. You know where I got that from? I got that from my mother. She used to hate paying bills. So this is why you align yourself with your soul and your mind and your spirit, because then you'll know, hey, this is where you got this from. This characteristic does not belong to you. And you clear yourself of all of these ailments, whether they be, most of them, mental and emotional. And then you're empty, and then you fill it with the teachings, and then you're good, and then you're empty again. It keeps on going. You got to do it every day. Anyway, stress for stillness. So stress comes from other things. I got to do this, I have to do that. I can't believe this happened. That's a worldly emotion to keep you trapped in a survival mode. So you can't be productive, you can't be creative. You're reacting to every situation that's placed upon you instead of manifesting those verbally to make those things change, to make those things benefit you and those around you. But benefit you will automatically benefit folks around you. So you don't have to worry about them. Worry about you. Don't worry about you. Be wondrous about yourself. Like, I wonder if I thought about it in this manner, and why am I thinking about it in this manner in the first place? This is your conditioning. So once you'll be able to be aware of that, you'll be able to change it. But the less you are aware of it, the less you know that what's happening, and the less you will prepare yourself to be able to either combat or circumvent or deal with that type of imbalance. So this is for growth. I am thankful for the lessons of the week and the progress I am making. This is something that a lot of us don't have, right? Father God gives you things, emotional and mental, spiritual tools that will help you either overcome, understand, make you aware of something that is ailing you, that is confounding you in a place where you're just going back and forth in like a ping pong ball, but you have no idea. But when that idea comes in, you realize, wow, and where did that idea come from? It didn't come from you. Because you're conditioned to think a certain way, and then all of a sudden you have this thought that says, hey, this is not right. I don't like this. Where did that thought come from? The Gnostic text, again, well, not again, but says that Yaldabaoth, I don't know if you know who that is, but look him up, said he was the God and only God because he was the only thing that he saw in his darkness. And this very same thing happened to you. The very same thing. And then he said, well, I am God and I am the only God. I don't know if he used those particular words because God, those words I don't think they existed, but he was the only entity in his reality, and that's true. However, he wanted to make it known. How can I be? Some question, and then he got that divine thought. But again, he only thought that he was it. He was the demiurge is what they call him. But that thought came from the divine spark, from wisdom. They call it Sophia. So if you get a chance to look at the Gnostics, check it out. Very interesting. I'll tell you a lot more interesting than the Bible. The Old Testament is just nothing but murder. But I've never read the Gnostic text, so I've seen a lot of videos, read excerpts here and there, but not the entire, like I'm doing the Bible. But that's coming, and if it does, it does. If it doesn't, then the understanding is there, because I resonate with that kind of information. Makes sense to me because it happened to me. I was in the dark. I got a thought. I came to the light. I created. I manifested and I created. But you shall always return to the dark. You will always return to the dark. And the spark in the dark is you. It's not something that outside of you. Don't be going into the light, because you're just going to come back here. And talking and listening and all these actions and properties that we own, that were given to us, can be used to this fullest potential. And then you take off like a rocket ship. No joke. This is for connection. I appreciate the people in my life who support and inspire me. I appreciate you for supporting me and inspiring me. See? This is a small gratitude challenge. Today's Thankful Thursday. Wake up, wake up. Before you dive into your to-do list, try to name 3 specific things you are thankful for right now. They don't have to be big. Sometimes the best things are a warm cup of coffee, a soft blanket, or a kind text message. So little things, little micro gratitude, wow, will take you from emptiness and trying to fulfill some life that doesn't mean anything to you, to being fulfilled all the time. Because you no longer rely on materialism, on other things to fill you. God is already there. And all you got to do is keep that communication open at all times. No matter if you were doing bad, you looked for him. Right? You called him Jesus Christ, help me. That's what you did. I did it. You blasphemed. I did it. But that's in the concept of religion. So if you separate those, right? If you're in the religious mind, that's how you think. Oh, I blasphemed, but you really didn't. You would. It's on you. So small, little grateful things: waking up, breathing, just to being able to read, having your arms, legs, ears, whatever part of your body that you have that you're not missing. Be thankful, to be able to breathe without having to labor to do it. Be thankful for health. Wow. Right? I can breathe. I'm healthy. A lot of things you can be grateful for that doesn't have to be material outside of you. Being able to be calm in stressful situations and think through obstacles while doing it is the best thing, because now you just acquired a skill. It wasn't just instinct. And the skill that you acquired was thought through, and you can teach it to someone else. That's the whole point. When you're learning something, is to teach someone else so that they can teach someone else so that they can teach us. That's how you live eternally on this plane. It's through knowledge and wisdom. So may wisdom guide you all the way. Us. Okay, here's a quote. Don't think I read it today. I read this one already. Here's a good one. This is short and sweet. This is anonymous. Gratitude turns what we have into enough. Gratitude turns what we have into enough. Now, We're so material minded that, or oriented, that when I say that, even I just did it, gratitude turns what you have into enough. So I went, what I have, I showed what I have. What about what you have inside? What you have is the divine spark of the Creator. Picture that. And think about the information that we have about the Creator. What the Creator is able to do, you can do. And you have, that is the spark that you have. What? So may wisdom guide you. Here's another one. This one's okay. I think I read this one all the time. It is not joy that makes us grateful. It is gratitude that makes us joyful. I'm gonna read it again. That's by David Steindl. There's his name. I don't know if I said that right. That's the author. Do you see him? Where is that? What's the last one? See his name right there? David Steindl Rest. It says, it is not joy that makes us grateful. It is gratitude that makes us joyful. In being grateful, sometimes it's wow, it's mind blowing, because you realize the greatness of those things that you have that are part of you automatically. Wow. I'm grateful for that. So here's a poem. Ready? Here we go. This is called The Morning Bridge. The silver light of Thursday breaks as the quiet sleeping world awakes. Not quite the end, but well on our way. A breath of grace for this brand new day. A breath of, I read that. I'm thankful for the coffee's steam, for the lingering hope of a morning dream, which, by the way, are the best dreams, are the morning dreams. Like when you wake up, you're about to get ready and you go back to sleep and you have a dream and you feel like you slept for hours. The best. Don't know if that happens to you. And the gentle words I've yet to speak. The weekend whispers, not far out of sight, but I'll dwell right here in this morning light. With the heart wide open and the spirit free, grateful for all that is meant to be. Okay? All right. I hope you enjoyed that one. And again, I do that. I'll read it next Thursday too, because repetition is the father of reconditioning. You have to repeat, rinse, repeat. Just repeat the same action until you do it automatically. And if you're conscious of that, then you're like, okay, I got it. And you don't need to do it because it's being done. You already implemented that in your routine. And be grateful for the fact that you're able to do that. All right, here we go. Here's the Bible reading. If you need wisdom, ask your generous God, and He will give it to you. Wisdom. That's the key to transcendence, is wisdom. Okay, here's the version, U version, I should say. So I go down here, click on Bible. Again, if you go up here, you have all types of versions. This is the one I have is NIV, and the one I have physically is a study guide. So this was given to me. Thank you, Scott. So it's the NIV, National whatever version. A lot of people don't like it. I get it, but it's the same thing. They just edited it so that you can, do what you want, I suppose. Anyway, here we are. David saves Kayla. That's what it sounds like. That's what it looks like it's spelled to me, but here we go.
1 Samuel chapter 23. When David was told, look, the Philistines are fighting against Keilah and are looting the threshing floors.
Keilah, I said that wrong.
He inquired of the Lord, saying, shall I go and attack these Philistines? The Lord answered him, go, attack the Philistines, and save Keilah. But David's men said to him, here in Judah we're afraid. How much more then if we go to Keilah against the Philistine forces? Once again David inquired of the Lord, And the Lord answered him, Go down to Keilah, for I am going to give the Philistines into your hand. So David and his men went to Keilah, fought the Philistines, and carried off their livestock. He inflicted heavy losses on the Philistines and saved the people of Keilah. Now Abiathar, son of Ahimelech, had brought the ephod down with him when he...
So Keilah is a place. It's not. I thought it was a person named Kayla. But see, this is why you read. Cause then you can see what what things mean instead of assuming or having somebody else tell you about it. So let's see. Okay.
Fled to David at Keilah. Saul was told that David had gone to Keilah, and he said, God has delivered him into my hands, for David has imprisoned himself by entering a town with gates and bars. And Saul called up all his forces for battle, to go down to Keilah to besiege David with his men. When David learned that Saul was plotting against him, he said to Abiathar the priest, Bring the ephod. David said, Lord God of Israel, your servant has heard definitely that Saul plans to come to Keilah and destroy the town on account of me. Will the citizens of Keilah surrender me to him? Will Saul come down as your servant has heard? Lord God of Israel, tell your servant. And the Lord said, He will. Again David asked, Will the citizens of Keilah surrender me and my men to Saul? And the Lord said, They will. So David and his men, about 600 in number, left Keilah and kept moving from place to place. When Saul was told that David had escaped from Keilah, he did not go there. David stayed in the wilderness strongholds and in the hills of the desert of Ziph. Day after day Saul searched for him, but God did not give David into his hands. While David was at Horesh in the desert of Ziph, he learned that Saul had come out to take his life, and Saul's son Jonathan went to David at Horesh and helped him to find strength in God. Don't be afraid, he said. My father Saul will not lay a hand on you. You shall be king over Israel, and I will be second to you. Even my father Saul knows this. The two of them made a covenant before the Lord. Then Jonathan went home, but David remained at Horesh. The Ziphites went up to Saul at Gibeah and said, Is not David hiding among us in the strongholds at Horesh, on the hill of Keilah, south of Jeshimon? Now, your majesty, come down whenever it pleases you to do so, and we will be responsible for giving him into your hands. Saul replied, The Lord bless you for your concern for me. Go and get more information. Find out where David usually goes and who has seen him there. They tell me he's very crafty. Find out about all the hiding places he uses and come back to me with definite information. Then I will go with you. If he is in the area, I will track him down among all the clans of Judah. So they set out and went to Ziph, ahead of Saul. Now David and his men were in the desert of Maon, in the Arabah, south of Jeshimon. Saul and his men began to search, and when David was told about it, he went down to the rock and stayed in the desert of Maon. When Saul heard this, he went into the desert of Maon in pursuit of David. Saul was going along one side of the mountain, and David and his men were on the other side, hurrying to get away from Saul. As Saul and his forces were closing in on David and his men to capture them, a messenger came to Saul, saying, Come quickly, the Philistines are raiding the land. Then Saul broke off his pursuit of David and went to meet the Philistines. That is why they call this place Selah Hamalakoth. And David went up from there and lived in the strongholds of En-Gedi.
One thing I gotta say about this book, it's like a novela. Don't know if you know what that is. A soap opera. Very interesting. The contents of the book, the conflicts, the betrayal. It's literally like a soap opera. It's an interesting book. The fact that David and Goliath is in here, the fact that the deceit and the backstabbing. It's very interesting, but maybe we can read it again. I don't know. Probably not. But if you're religiously inclined, right, I think you should read this. I don't know. It's just my opinion. Maybe more than once. This particular book, and there's a part 2. So we're gonna get into part 2. Obviously, once we're done here, we got like 4 more chapters to go. This is 24. The title is David Spares Saul's Life.
1 Samuel chapter 24. After Saul returned from pursuing the Philistines, he was told, David is in the desert of En-Gedi. So Saul took 3,000 able young men from all Israel and set out to look for David and his men near the crags of the wild goats. He came to the sheepfolds along the way. A cave was there, and Saul went in to relieve himself. David and his men were far back in the cave. The men said, This is the day the Lord spoke of when he said to you, I will give your enemy into your hands for you to deal with as you wish. Then David crept up unnoticed and cut off a corner of Saul's robe. Afterwards, David was conscience-stricken for having cut off a corner of his robe. He said to his men, The Lord forbid that I should do such a thing to my master, the Lord's anointed, or lay my hand on him. For he is the anointed of the Lord. With these words, David sharply rebuked his men and did not allow them to attack Saul. And Saul left the cave and went his way. Then David went out of the cave and called out to Saul, My lord the king. When Saul looked behind him, David bowed down and prostrated himself with his face to the ground. He said to Saul, Why do you listen when men say, David is bent on harming you? This day you have seen with your own eyes how the Lord gave you into my hands in the cave. Some urged me to kill you, but I spared you. I said, I will not lay my hand on my Lord because he is the Lord's anointed. See, my father, look at this piece of your...
Lord, Lord, Lord. I self Lord and Master. So this term, everybody with power, whether given, taken, earned, born into, serves the Lord. That word has many different meanings. And the way it's spelled in the Bible also has particular meanings. So look those up. It's significant enough that they use this word. Let me see. Give me a second. See if I can find it. I'm using my PS4. Give me a second. I don't have I'm using my controller. But so let's see. When I get a laptop, I'll be able to do this, but I don't have one yet. Let me see if I can do that. Well, I'll look it up and I'll let you know. Let me write it down. And remember, I said repetition is the father of all conditioning. So if they use a particular word all the time, guess what? Guess what? That's conditioning. If I continuously say to you, you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid, guess what? I'm stupid. Yup. If I continuously tell you I love you and I show you, because this is different, love, somebody says they love you and they show you, they don't even have to say they love you if they're showing you. There's no need for them to say it. They don't want to say it. I love you. No, they're going to show you. A lot of women, when they say, how come you don't say you love me? Do I have to? I don't think so. It shows in my actions. And those are the power of words. That's the manipulation that you can utilize to control someone. So look up the word Lord. Lord, Lord, Lord.
In my hand. I cut off the corner of your robe, but did not kill you. See that there is nothing in my hand to indicate that I'm guilty of wrongdoing or rebellion. I have not wronged you, but you are hunting me down to take my life. May the Lord judge between you and me, and may the Lord avenge the wrongs you have done to me, but my hand will not touch you. As the old saying goes, from evildoers come evil deeds, so my hand will not touch you. Against
Okay, there's a lesson. Didn't know that. But obviously it's true, right? From evildoers come evil deeds. So if you're an evildoer, then you do evil things, right? The question is, are you aware that it's evil? Are you conscious that it's evil? Do you care? Because if you're doing something on purpose, you probably don't care, right? Or you care that you're doing it. It's a whole different dynamic of people, the way they think. And these thoughts do not belong to that life that's divine spark. Would think about killing someone? Would think about harming someone? I don't think so. I know not. Would be nothing but love. If you have divine spark, you're not thinking about sinning. Doesn't enter your mind. Not at all. Society puts it in your mind. In the movies, even in sports, everything is violent, evil, meaningless. So if you know and you're aware, we all have the divine spark, and you're aware in your communication, the evil doing and stuff like that will not enter your mind. Now you ain't no herb, you're not a buster, you're gonna do what you gotta do when you gotta do it. But that divine spark will lead you to show love, to give love before anything else. You just gotta be aware. Love your soul, not your role. Wake up, wake up.
whom has the king of Israel come out? Who are you pursuing? A dead dog? A flea? May the Lord be our judge and decide between us. May he consider my cause and uphold it. May he vindicate me by delivering me from your hand. When David finished saying this, Saul asked, Is that your voice, David, my son? And he wept aloud. You are more righteous than I, he said. You have treated me well, but I have treated you badly. You have just now told me about the good you did to me. The Lord gave me into your hands, but you did not kill me. When a man finds his enemy, does he let him get away unharmed? May the Lord reward you well for the way you've treated me today. I know that you will surely be king, and that the kingdom of Israel will be established in your hands. Now swear to me by the Lord that you will not kill off my descendants, or wipe out my name from my father's family. So David gave his oath to Saul. Then Saul returned home, but David and his men went up to the stronghold.
At this point, I would say I would read this again. Interesting story, a lot of detail, a lot of it's just interesting what they're doing to each other and how they're treating each other and the things that they say. So maybe I'll read it again. Probably not. So we're on 25. There are 3 more chapters. Yay. And then there's another book. So let me see this real quick. yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. Today's Thankful Thursday. Be thankful. I am thankful for being able to share this time with you, for being able to read the Old Testament with you. Very powerful stuff. May knowledge fill you and may wisdom guide you. I got a couple of minutes. So just real quick, I was extremely tired on Monday. Very tired. I didn't get a lot of sleep. However, because living inward, right? I was able to figure out why that was. Why I was unable to sleep. It wasn't anything divine, wasn't any communication, but those things do happen. I do get those earrings at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Still wake up. However, I have been able not even be able to begin to sleep until maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, which normally I'll go to sleep like about 10 or 11, and then I wake up at 1 or 2. So I figured it out. Father God, Mother Divine, help me figure that out. It's like, you're doing this because I'm aware of my patterns. I'm aware of my daily routines. If you're robotic in those routines, then you're not aware of the certain things that are surrounding you, right? Certain things that you're thinking about. It's just routine. It's just robotic response. Once you become conscious and aware of everything that you do, then everything is intentional. And you see things for the way that you see things, not the way you were told to see things. This is a very different perspective of life, believe me. And it's fun because you're not locked into that particular frame of mind of hopelessness, sadness, depression, addiction, socially engineered to do and act a certain way. Once you get away from that, it's a constant battle though, right? And they're going to come for you. Believe me. And when I say they, I mean all manner of evil, of what we think evil is. Thoughts, people, situations, it's going to come for you. But as above, so below, so within, so without, may wisdom guide you. May knowledge feed you and wisdom guide you. Being in that sense of self is extremely protective, right? You don't have to do anything. You just need to be aligned and be aware. When you're aligned, you're aware, you'll see things happening in your favor for no reason. But stay within. Stay within. Stay within. Holy Trinity, mind, spirit, and soul and body, which is your stomach, right? Which you feed yourself. Because without that, you wouldn't have a body, right? You wouldn't be able to digest the things that you need in order to maintain and build this body. So that's the reason that I'm doing this. That I've been told, I've been guided to do this, which is cool. Again, I'm not a teacher, I'm not a preacher, I'm not an ordained priest. I'm not I'm just a man giving information about what I've lived and what I'm doing now that I know, since it helped me, it can help someone else. I do have a book. So I'm going to put it on Facebook. I'm going to put this information on Facebook. If you want to read my book, it's really small. It's not even, I don't even know. It's about what we're talking about right now. Mainly dealing with losing weight. I used to be 300 pounds. I'm 168 pounds now. Didn't use that stuff, the Ozempics. I don't know. I just heard about that. I don't know what that is. No diet pills, no exercise, minor exercise, right? Just for maintenance of my body, but not exercise with the intention to lose weight. You feel me? Totally different intention when I'm working out. It's to strengthen myself, not to lose weight. Regulating my food is something that's so easy now. So that's what it's about. It's about that. Also, how I did it mentally. Like what were the mental? It's a good. So if you want to read it, please send me your email. I'll send it to you. I'll send you a PDF copy so that you can read it, and just send me your email address. Tell me what you think. Free. It's going to be a free PDF. So I'm going to put that information on Facebook. So let me know if you would like to read it. I'm going to be doing that this weekend, so I'm not going to be, distributing that free copy until probably the week after this week or the week after that. So maybe in 2 weeks. So I'll continuously talk about it every day until I get to that point. The book has a title. Did I give it? Yeah, I gave it a title. Get your mind right before you get your waist tight. So we'll see if that sticks. But get your mind right. I think it's get your mind right to get your waist right. I did use AI, Gemini AI. I do use that. I did have the concept. I did have the structure. I didn't have the formatting, and I didn't have the editing. That's what I use it for. Gemini. And the ideas are original. The ideas are mine that I used to get to this point, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So those things I do practice. So it's just put in format and plain text so that I can do what I need to do for me and for the Almighty. So please let me know if you want to read it. It's not that long. I'm going to keep on promoting it. Tomorrow I'm going to say the same thing. Get your mind right to get your waist tight. That's the concept title. I might change it. But the reason I named it that is because a lot of folks on Facebook were like, oh wow, man, you're skinny. What happened? And I said, this is what I'm doing, and this is a lifestyle. It's not a trend. So let me know. Wake up, love your soul, not your role. You already know I'm the cosmic amount. May knowledge fill you, and may wisdom guide you. Amen.